Welcome everyone to round 3, the final run of July 30th Trilogy Night over at Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana. If you guys are looking for a place to play some Star Wars Limited, check out Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana. Thursday nights, 6 p.m., $5 entry. And our winner for round 2 is here playing our typical Maul Force Blue player. So Maul LOF Force Blue player is here today. Their two decks they've decided to go with is the Grogu we saw from round number 1 blue and Boss Red. And the two decks our round 2 winner has is the Armorer Red versus I don't know what this Cassian Andor is playing. But anyways, it doesn't really matter. We'll see it in the end as we get into game number 1. And it looks like game number 1 is going to start off with Grogu Blue on this side. Alright folks, here we go. For game number 1, like I said, we have Grogu Blue. We already saw that in round number 1. We discussed it already. But we have Cassian Yellow. Cassian Sec Yellow. So very interested to see a Cassian. So this is this third player's deck. Their 3 decks were, again, Akbar Splash Green, Armorer Red, and then Cassian Sec Yellow. So Cassian Andor states on his front side, action, tap him. If you played a unit, if a unit attacked your opponent's base this phase, you may tap him to give it hidden for the turn. So basically, it becomes hidden, meaning that it attacks the base, your opponent can't attack it because it has hidden unless that unit has the Sentinel keyword. He flips on 6 for 6/2 with an ability that states as long as you have the initiative, he cannot be destroyed by having more damage on himself, as well as cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects as well. So basically, as long as you contain the initiative, he can just take damage and damage and damage and damage. But the second your opponent takes initiative, he's dead. So most people, they hit him once and then take the initiative, and then he's dead. So he does have that. I believe he has Saboteur on his backside as well, or Overwhelm. I can't remember. I think he has a keyword. But nonetheless, he's just a really fun leader. I really enjoyed playing him in a lot of sealed events like pre-releases and drafts. I thought it was a pretty fun leader. If you can get him dumb right, where you constantly can keep the initiative, he can just become a nuisance. Especially if you can find a way to give him grit. Yeah, if you can keep the initiative and give him grit, yeah, no, he's a pain to deal with. Fun leader, just not really a great leader. I think he popped up a few times in competitive tops in the sec meta, but not too many. Again, the whole kind of gimmick is very easy to just kind of deal with. You punch him once, deal the necessary damage, you take the initiative, he dies. I believe he also flips on 6 as well. So, with that said, let's jump into game number 1. Here we go, folks, for game number 1. Let us see what we are dealing with right now. Cassian does have initiative, so they're going to go for a TIE Interceptor, and then they're going to claim the initiative there. Flanking TIE Interceptor that has support, but nobody to support, and we have an E-Wing on the Grogu side. Again, Grogu does get to flip the turn. You play a 4 cost or higher unique units. Anyways, we're going to go for Dorsal Turret to get that a +2/+2, and as well as a ping 1 on ping 1 to a space unit on attack. Then we're going to go for a kill switch to give it -1/-1 and rested. And then we're going to go for a Biggs. Biggs is going to fly that TIE Interceptor. He didn't die at the Death Star, everybody. He was there at the Battle of Endor. Anyways, Biggs, of course, is a pilot that, depending on the ship he's attached to, he gains an ability. I believe if he's attached to a fighter, I think he gives it... Oh, shoot, I can't remember what Biggs gives it. Because I think if he's attached to a speeder, he gives it one thing. If he's attached to a transport, he gives it another. And if he's attached to a fighter, he gives it another. So he has like 3 different effects depending on what type of vehicle he's attached to. So anyways, we're going to have the flanking TIE Fighter swing. We're going to then use the Dorsal Turret to ping 1 damage at the E-Wing here. So anyways, then, of course, as a reminder, it looks like, no, we're going to have... Oh, must give Overwhelm over in the E-Wing. Then we're going to have a 𝐒𝐎𝐶𝐾 come down, gaining a Mandalorian token because something died that turn. Then we're going to have Green Leader come down the board. Then we're going to have Grogu flip because 𝐒𝐎𝐶 did come out. And then we're going to have Han Solo attached to that Green Leader. That's kind of a waste, in my opinion, to just attach a Han Solo immediately, because technically he doesn't even get his effect to immediately attack. Not that I think there was really any concern with attacking with Green Leader at that point. But again, 𝐒𝐎𝐶 also creates a Mandalorian token when one of your unit dies for the phase. Anyways, we're going to have a swing of 𝐒𝐎𝐶 there coming in for 4 damage. And then we're going to have Green Leader swing in for hits 5 damage. And then we're going to have a 2 damage coming in for the Mandalorian token. And then we're going to go for R2-D2 under that flanking TIE Fighter. How the heck do they stick him? a astromech in there. And then we're going to go for the Halo there. And then we're going to swing for the flanking TIE Fighter. I forget what the Halo even does. Anyways, we also on our opponent's side of the board, they put down an X-Wolves coming and shielded them. They went for the Veil, giving an X-Wolf another shield. And again, he does get a +1/+1 for each upgrade attached to him. So again, he's just a very good card, especially for the Armorer. That definitely is one of those decks that can get that heavy buff when you as X-Wolves with the Armorer. Anyways, I think this game has already been wrapped up in Space Arena without even a question of the doubt, as we're going to have the flanking TIE Fighter swing again for a whole lot of damage here, putting our opponent's base to 20 here on 8 is only on the side of Cassian on their base. Anyways, then Green Leader is going to swing. I mean, you could just flip the Cassian and win the game here. Anyways, X-Wolf is going to swing for a whole bunch of damage as well. And then we're going to have the Halo do 4 damage to the base there. And then we're going to have the Mandalorian token deal a little bit more damage. Then we're going to have the flip of Cassian there. And then it looks like we have a plot of 𝐒𝐬𝐾 for game. That's the way we win it, folks. Plotting out 𝐒𝐬𝐾. 𝐒𝐬𝐾 states, when played, you may attack with a unit. So I really like 𝐒𝐬𝐾. If you're a Luke JTL fan, that is a really good combo to go with. Flip Luke, attach him to a fighter, and then you go 𝐒𝐬𝐾. 𝐒𝐬𝐾 to me allow you to swing with the Luke Skywalker, triggering his attached to fighter effect to deal 3 damage to a unit. And as well as he attached to red 5, then maybe potentially kill off that unit as well that you just dealt the 3 damage, deal 2 damage to a wounded unit. It's always kind of fun. But immediately, massive damage pretty fast and pretty quick too. So with that said, the Cassian Sec Yellow did win game number 1, meaning that now that deck has to be put away. And now for this side to officially win the match, they must win with their Armorer Red against whatever 2 decks this player decides. Again, if you lose, you can swap between the 2 decks, but you still must win with both decks. So they could stay with the Grogu Blue, or they could go to Voss Red. So everyone, welcome to round number 2. It looks like Grogu Blue is going to be staying up on the battlefield to try to win out a game against the Armorer so that Voss Red can push for the final win for this player to win it all. So let's us get into it, as the Armorer player is just deciding on their final resource for the turn here. Grogu is starting off first. They're going to go for a Chandurian sponsor here with, of course, that Restore 2. Then we're going to have a Leppy Lookout on the side of the Armorer coming in shielded. I really don't mind much of what the Armorer can do. I think that she's a lot better when she flips over rather than her front side. But there are some gimmicks, as we saw in round number 2, where you can have your opponent's Chancellor Palpatine come out, and then you can give it the upgrade that while it's rested, your opponent has to play 3 resources or keep it rested, which is kind of funny. But again, I'm not too fond of her front side because she can only do it to a unit that came out that turn. As we're going to go for Lats to immediately be able to kill the sponsor there, and then we're going to have Axe-Wolves. We're going to have the Leppy and the Axe trade their shield so that Axe doesn't have, can't get his +1/+1 at that point in time. So it's very interesting. Our Grogu players decided to stay with Grogu instead of maybe trying to win with Voss. But I mean, nonetheless, you have to win with the Grogu. That's the important part. The Grogu has to win a game. So anyways, we're going to have Axe-Wolves kill off the Lats there, because again, Lats only got it only gives itself experience and actually comes in as a 2/1. So we're having another Leppy Lookout coming out. More rabbits. Show me a lop. Finally, show me a lop of Fantasy Flight. You're making rabbits in the game. Show me lop. You could do it. I know you can. So anyways, we're going to have the Grogu come down again. That is on tap. You may remove 2 damage from one of your units to then put that damage anywhere else on the board state. Typically, you always put it on your opponent. I do have no idea what just came out. Oh, a Benthic 2 tubes came out on the board, and then we're going to have the Leppy Lookout swing for 3. Apologies that my camera has glare and is out of focus. The glare is because I'm not in my typical space to record. Again, the shop is very open for other players to come and play, and I believe that table is owned by some Commander players at the time. So they're allowed to play there. Well, I just can't kick them off the table just because it's the better place to record. So anyways, we're going to have Grogu is going to kill the Leppy Lookout and then take 3 damage to his face. Again, next turn he could tap to get 2 of that damage off and then put that somewhere else. Then we're going to have the Leppy Lookout just decide to kill off the Grogu. Not Grogu! Anyways, then we're going to go for the N1. Mando's N1 Starfighter that allows you to rest your leader, whether or not that leader is in your leader zone or just simply out on the board state. And then on attack, you could then gain +2 to your attack if you rested a leader unit. Does have support as well. So basically, the Mando's fighter can swing and then rest the Grogu leader and then allow it to get an extra +2. As we're going to have Adora still onto the Benthic 2 tubes here. And then Benthic's going to swing and then trigger the effect of Benthic to immediately be able to ping the 1 damage off of 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐘 and then kill off 𝐒𝐒𝐓𝐾, burning the shield. We're going to go for a Chill Fan and then a Nimble under the Armorer. So basically, the game definitely looks to be in the favor of the Armorer, but I mean, what did you expect against Grogu Blue? I mean, come on, people. It's Grogu Blue. It ain't that good of a deck. Anyways, we're going to go for Captain Rex, and we're going to flip the Grogu because we did play a unit with 3 or more, a unique unit with 4 cost or higher, so we do get to flip our Grogu on the play. So basically, then Captain Rex, when played when on attack, you may choose a unit. They both get Sentinel for the face. So anyways, we're going to go for the Mandos in 1 Starfighter, and resting the Grogu there to get the extra +2 the attack there. We did have a armor that get equipped with the Whistling Birds. Then that is going to swing into, of course, the Captain Rex here, and that's going to kill off Captain Rex because of the extra +2 damage from the Whistling Birds, and then Grogu took the 2 damage there. So it's just kind of, then we're going to trigger the Armor's effect to then use Cybernetics, then put that under the Benthic 2 tubes. That should be a draw 1 of when played. So, and then we're going to have the Benthic 2 tubes and all of that. Attack Benthic is going to be able to ping the last damage on the Grogu and kill it off. As a reminder, Grogu does not have an epic action. He just can come out anytime you play a guy with a unique unit with the cost 4 or more. Very interesting card, though his effect kind of sucks where he only really triggers if you're defending or attacking your opponent's stuff. You're defending against your opponent or you're being attacked by your opponent. So anyways, we're going to go for the Grogu. Again, that can rest itself to remove 2 damage. And then we're going to swing in for with the armor here, deciding on do we have anything we want to play. Nope. And then we're going to go for choose your path to melee go for that effect to, I believe, heal because we have a Mandalorian and a Force unit out as well. But anyway, we're going to have the Leppy Lookout swing, but it does not matter in the end. Grogu was not able to beat the Armorer, meaning that this player wins, meaning that Cassian, Sec Yellow, and Armor Red win out the event altogether. Now, again, this deck could have... Our opponent could have switched to Boss Red to try to win with Boss Red, but the problem is, even if Boss Red did beat the Armorer, they would have to go back to Grogu and have to beat the Armorer with Grogu. So that's what's really fun about Trilogy, is that you could build like two really good decks in one kind of poo-poo deck, or a really bad deck, or janky deck, and you have to win with your janky deck. So your opponent is going to always ban one of your 2 good decks to force you to win with your jank deck. So it really turns into this very interesting strategy of what do you build to play against? How do you build the deck? Your deck. How do you win with each of your decks? How do you win with the deck that you think is jank or poo-poo or anything like that? That's what I really like about Trilogy. But I want your guys' thoughts down in the comments on all our decks, on Grogu Blue, on Boss Red, even though we didn't see Boss Red, on Armorer Red, and on Cassian Sec Yellow. If you guys are going to try them out in this upcoming format, or try them out for your own Trilogy event, and let me know if you guys have tried Trilogy, and let me know what decks you like to use the most for Trilogy, as well as how much fun it is. And while you guys are commenting, do make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you know when my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time on Modern Dragons TCG.